As I mentioned in the previous couple of videos, there are a number of tools that come with the Android SDK that enable you to build applications using the command line. So there's the emulator tool, for example, that you can use to launch an emulator, the Android tool to build a project. There's the DX tool to create a DEX file from class files, and the ADT tool to package those up and deploy them to your emulator. And it is possible. You can definitely develop, test, deploy, all this stuff using straight up command line kind of work. But it's a lot easier to use an IDE, an integrated development environment, instead. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this class. The development environment that most people use when it comes to working with Android is the Eclipse development environment, Eclipse IDE. And the nice thing about Eclipse is that there's a plugin, the ADT, the Android Developer Tools plugin, that integrates Android into Eclipse. It allows you to launch the emulator from Eclipse. It gives you nice wizards to build new Android projects. It allows you to debug. It allows you to build the DEX files and deploy them all through Eclipse itself. So it's a really nice enhancement, a nice add-on on top of Eclipse to make working with developing Android a lot easier. Well, the installation that you get when you download the ADT bundle, that Eclipse installation already has the plugin installed. So you should be ready to go immediately once you have downloaded and unzipped that bundle. So let's take a look here on our file system. And under our bundle installation, we have an Eclipse directory. And under there, we have eclipse.exe. And so if I double click on that, what it's going to do is it'll launch Eclipse, and it first asks me for a workspace. And I'm fine with the default. If you want to store your files somewhere else, that's okay too. We'll go ahead and hit OK. This will go ahead and load up Eclipse. And the first thing it does gives me a welcome screen. I can just dismiss that. And all right, so now we have ourselves a basic Eclipse installation. So I started Eclipse, and now I'm going to go ahead and try to import in the class files, the files that support this set of videos. If you remember from the setup or thereabouts, one of those early videos that we had, we mentioned that you could get the student files, download the student files from our website and use those as part of the class. Well, this is where we grab those files and we bring them into Eclipse. Depending upon which video you are watching or which course you purchased, you might get slightly different files. There might be different things that load up. But anyway you look at it, the files, the zip file we gave you ahead of time, that's what we want you to load in. And so I have that on my desktop right now. So I will go into Eclipse. I'm going to click on the File menu item. Then I'll go to Import. And under General, I'm going to import in some existing projects into my workspace. So the zip file already has some projects inside of it. When I click Next, I have two options. I can either select a directory that those projects might be in or an archive file. I have a zip file here on my desktop. I'll go with that. So I'll click on Browse, go over to my desktop. There's a bunch of stuff on there, but I'm looking for that zip file. There we go, open. And when I do so, you're going to notice that there's a number of projects that have been pre-created that it wants to load in. We want it to do that. So we're going to leave all those checked, and I'm simply going to click on the Finish button, and it'll load all those projects right there into Eclipse. So I chose File, Import, General, and then Existing Projects into Workspace. I clicked on Next. I then chose to select the archive file, and I browsed over to, in my case, the desktop, where I'd placed that student zip file from before. After that, I clicked Finish, and now I have an Eclipse installation that has a number of projects, you can see them over here off to the left, that are ready for me to work with. And actually, I'm not going to work with those projects immediately. We're going to build a brand new one right now or in the next couple of videos and just get a little something up and running that we build ourselves. Later on, you'll be using some of these projects, maybe for lab solutions or perhaps in other videos. Again, just to reiterate, if you don't have all of the projects I have here, or maybe you even have more, that's okay. Depending upon which video course you're taking, there might be different things in that student file zip or in that class file zip. And so in the case of what I'm recording up right now, I have, maybe 10 of them right here.